Well, in WIN we like to say that we're the premier political, professional, and social network for young Democratic pro-choice women. And what that really means is that we offer members opportunities that they can't get anywhere else in DC. We inform them, we empower them, we connect them with other women. When we think of informing a member, the main benefit that comes to mind is the WIN list. We also call this list the premier listserv in DC. Any member can post. We encourage members to post from the day they join, and women are really encouraged to share job opportunities that they've heard of. They're also encouraged to ask for advice and recommendations. All members are encouraged to respond, and it's really a way to share information between members.
So many reasons why I love WIN. Probably most because of the networks. I just cannot get enough of having so many opportunities to be a part of so many diverse networks of people, of women.
We have 20 networks, and they cover everything from book group to queer network to women in business, women in the law. So both lifestyle and interest as well as professional network.
I think it has made a difference in this town because it has made it possible for young women in their 20s to get access to jobs, to get access to some mentoring, mutual mentoring among themselves.
The origins of Women Opening Doors for Women is goes back to the beginning of WIN, where women coming off the Dukakis campaign were talking about how they could support Democratic pro-choice women in DC and how they could provide a network for them.
It actually started there around my dining room table, and some of my friends came for a dinner party, and we stayed pretty much through the night talking about, they would tell us what their interests were. They would ask, do I need a degree to do this? Where do you fit in having a family and children? And they were fascinated by our life stories, which none of us had planned, but you sort of took advantage of opportunities. And the thought was, we need to replicate this.
Every year we recognize that by holding WODW, and so we start off with a networking reception where over 500 women come, and afterwards they break off into these small intimate dinners all across DC, and during those dinners you have a chance to talk about all sorts of different topics, from how to get a job on the Hill to how to fulfill your creative life, or even how to make a career change, all the kind of things that are important to women in DC and trying to fulfill your life professionally and creatively. For me, I think that the main purpose of Young Women of Achievement Award is to celebrate these vibrant, amazing young women who are pro-choice and democratic and doing all sorts of really wonderful things, whether it's building a fitness center to help underprivileged and poor children, to women who are working on the Hill, or women who are working on fair election practices in other nonprofits. And so being able to celebrate these women who have accomplished so much and are still young, and then knowing that they're going to go on to do even greater things, is a really great opportunity.
Being intimidated by the marble halls and the big pillars doesn't get anything done. And the reality is, when you explain just in simple terms how Washington really works, people leave feeling like they actually can make a difference.
WIN has a congressional council made up of Democratic pro-choice women in Congress, both in the House and in the Senate, and all women in the House and the Senate who share our values. And last year we had 10 women of Congress come, and it was a really inspirational event, and they really talked to us about the challenges that they face as women in Congress and how we still have a really long way to go for political representation for women. WIN's Professional Development Series is one of our best offerings. It's the people that run it are women who've served in a win leadership position in the past. So they really try and put on like elite premier level training. We have the standard professional development that we offer, which is like how to negotiate a raise, how to edit your resume, how job interview strategies, and sort of how to advance in your career.
There's sort of permission to learn and to not have to pretend you know something that you don't. And so that some of this town's best leaders got their first start in leadership development at WIN.
The Feminist Conversation Series, also known as FCS, started about 2 years ago at the request of our members. The goal of the Feminist Conversation Series is really to challenge our members who identify themselves as democratic pro-choice women and to help define what that means in today's modern feminist society. A recent FCS event entitled "Is Sarah Palin a Feminist?" featured an interactive session to begin with. Each of the audience members were asked to take a stance on how they felt on a particular statement. Statements ranged from, can anti-choice women be a feminist? And is there a role for men in the movement of feminism? And it was really interesting to see the variety of opinions and the diverse thought behind all of the WIN members who share a common goal of being democratic pro-choice women.
I think one of the best things for me is I tend to be a person who gets involved pretty easily. I like to do things, I like to go out, but I think because of I trust the WIN network so much, I'm willing to do things that I might not normally do. I went to one of the Linking Leaders dinners a few weeks ago, with someone who was interested in a totally different field that I didn't know anything about, but I thought, why not just go and learn about something new?
I am confident that some of the WIN members who are now in serious leadership positions in the Democratic Party or in Democratic consulting firms got there faster because of WIN and because of the support they were giving each other.
It doesn't take anything from you, it only gives to you. Everything you participate in is voluntary. So you don't have to go to any regular meetings, you only do the things you want to do, and you can see, the job listing itself, or the email list with the jobs that come out are enough to join WIN right there for a new person in DC.
And I think having that refuge of WIN, where you can go, you can be yourself, you can, you know that you're with a group of like-minded women, I just don't think that ever goes out of style.